Hey everyone, welcome to another match of Red Green HoHoHo. Right now we're going to be playing Mono Black Zombies, so it's going to be pretty interesting. Kind of an anti-Santa Claus deck if you think about it, so I think that's kind of interesting. Let's see if Santa and his little elves and his reindeer can get past all these undead creatures. So we have to mulligan here, but that's okay. Mulligan to a pretty good hand. We see a Swamp and Aether Vial, so throwing me for some confusion until I figure out what I'm playing against. Although the creature they're about to cast is probably going to make you even more confused because it's not a zombie yet. Smuggler's Copter. Oh boy, it's been a while since I've seen that card. I think an early Clothis might be useful here. No, okay. I opt for double elf cast instead. Alright, that's fair. That's fair. Clothis next turn. Nothing in the graveyard anyway. Let's put on some pressure with our opponent. It looks like they're an aggro deck, so. Alright. Alright, we got a zombie. We got a zombie. Now, Smuggler's Copter flies, and we have no flyers, no reach. So that's going to be swinging in every turn. We're going to have no response unless we have a removal for it. It's just the way this deck goes. Flyers, you either kill them with bolts or screds, or you just let them through. That's essentially what's going to happen. Or you put on so much pressure that your opponent doesn't attack with them and keeps them on the defense. So Relentless Dead comes down. There's a lot of words on that card. I'm going to read it for a bit. Of course, it crews Smuggler's Copter. Fine. Got nothing on that. So let's attack with everything and see what happens here. Now, I thought that was a 3 mana ability, not a 2 mana ability, so I kind of messed up there. Alright. They opted to take out our token, so I think Clothis' time to shine has come. They're playing zombies, so they probably have some sort of graveyard interaction. So Clothis will come in handy here, hopefully. Gain us some life, since Smuggler's Copter is going to be bolting us essentially every turn. Yep. So Clothis essentially will counter their Copter, but that Regisaur, that's a problem. That's a problem that only Great Sable Stag, Santa's reindeer, can save. Let's just say that Great Sable Stag is Rudolph in this case. All right. If in the Santa lore, it just makes sense that Great Sable Stag is Rudolph. He's here to save the day. He's going to keep that dumb undead dinosaur at bay. Because it has protection from black, so it's just going to negate that Regisaur. Regisaur dares to block Santa Claus here. It's a ballsy move. But, of course, Santa Claus he's got a few tricks up his sleeve. So again, with Great Sable Stag on the battlefield and having no ability to remove it, they're not going to be able to attack in with their big creature there. Yeah, I'm sure they thought they were cute playing a big creature, but you know what? When you're playing against Santa and his elves, it's a problem. Especially during the holidays, we all know that the holidays boost deck like this, like the win rates. They just get better. Get a Lightning Bolt, which is actually pretty darn good. We're going to get 2 more elves here. Yep. Please untap my Senno. So let's see what we attack in with. Definitely Clothis, because for all intents and purposes, it's currently invulnerable. let's just put the pressure on our opponent. Argument can be made that I should just attack with Great Stable Stag anyway, because they're not going to be able to block it, so it's 3 guaranteed damage, and they might make the mistake of not blocking another creature, but too much of a risk. It's not worth it. Alright, well, looks like they're vialing in some fodder here. Definitely need to bolt that Crypt Breaker, because the ability to keep creating tokens is going to be a bit annoying. Granted, this current game is pretty much a lock. I mean, we pretty much win, unless they get rid of Colossus. Even then, it's not very straightforward, because they're going to have to attack in bits and pieces, and it's not going to go down very well. So our opponent really doing some math here. I always like to harp on my opponent because I don't know who they are. You know, probably took out his calculator here and doing some quick napkin math. How do I stop this and win is what's going through their mind right now. Well, you can't. You can't beat Santa. It's just how it is. You can't beat Santa. He's attacking in with his bodyguard and another random elf from the shop. He's got his reindeer by his side, literally. So, not sure what your undead zombie dinosaur is going to do about it. I mean, this is pretty bad. I mean, just keep in mind, I fast forward this 100 by 75%. So this is at like 1.75 speed. Almost double the speed of the actual gameplay. So you can just imagine how much I want to, like, knock my own teeth out. Boredom. Alright, they finally decide what to do. Great. Fantastic. Cool. So my Colossus gets deactivated. I don't have enough devotion anymore, but that's okay. Question is, do I bolt? Yeah, I mean, do I bolt Crypt Breaker? Because it's their generation engine. I still don't. I'm keeping that bolt for the face. Essentially, I'm just hoping that they drop down a couple more lives, and then I just bolt them and win the game. Which I think is probably smart. I'm not really worried right now of them overwhelming me with attacks. They can't profitably attack at the moment. Not as long as Great Stable Stag is there. So Smuggler's Copter again. We're not going to bolt it. I'm just going to let it fly in. Let it do what it has to do, because next turn we win. Essentially on our main phase. Which is a good thing why I kept that bolt for the last minute. I mean, when their life is so low, don't necessarily need to target a strong creature that they have on the battlefield. Just have to be patient. So here we go. Assuming this resolves, just going to bolt them and win the game. There we go. All right. Let's get on to the next game. So I think... So what do we bring in here? I mean, Veil of Summer would make sense, but they didn't seem to be playing too many cards that target us. They are playing black, but it didn't seem like they were too interested in what we were doing. They were a bit more interested in what they were doing. So Veil of Summer might be a bit of a wash here. Might be a 1-mana draw card or something. So we got to mulligan that one. This one we keep. It's not a very good hand, but essentially as good as it's going to get. Question is, do we... Yeah, I don't think I'm going to rush to bolt it. I'm going to ramp up first. My guess is, like, turn 2 they're going to play something, so they're not going to use Crypt Breaker's ability. That's my hedge anyway. That's what I thought. Carrion Feeder. So that's going to be a bit tricky now. I need to figure out how to deal with Carrion Feeder, because that card's just going to get bigger. I could play Great Stable Stag. kind of a catch-all at the moment, because then Carrion Feeder can get as big as it needs to. Doesn't really matter as long as it doesn't get trample. So let's see what happens here. Or we bolt that. Yeah, that probably needs to be bolted here. I think let's bolt the Zombie Lord. And then we're going to block the Crypt Breaker, which will probably get sacked to Carrion Feeder, but that's okay. That's one less creature we need to deal with. Our opponent doesn't know that we're playing Great Sable Stag next turn. Yeah, let's just force that sacrifice. There we go. So yeah, we're gonna eat some damage here, but that's okay. We'll stabilize. Yeah, that's tempting. I think Collective Company again is probably a better option here. Elvish Archdruid is just beautiful. Beautiful. Definitely going to attack in. Definitely. So let's see what our opponent does. Alright. Another Lord. Gonna let that through. Definitely gonna stabilize this turn. Yeah, there we go. Could probably kill that Lord, but no rush to kill it just yet. So, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, aka Great Sable Stag, gonna be pulling its weight once again. Love that card. So happy I was able to use it profitably in a deck, and a theme deck. Man, those are a lot of Lords. And I kind of messed up there. I shouldn't have let it resolve, so that was a mistake. In response to the cast, I should have taken out the first Lord. And now I did a big boo-boo. So whatever, we're just going to block Carrion Feeder here. Our opponent's not going to get through. But that was a big mistake. I should not have done it. But we got rid of Carrion Feeder, which I guess is not bad. So something I've been missing here is that, yeah, I could tap Elvish Archdruid for a ton of mana and still be able to cast Bloodbraid Elf as well. We've got a second Archdruid here. I think we're about to get a concession. There we go. All right. So we fended off zombies. Santa Claus and his team have officially fended off zombies. So, you know what? I'm pretty happy about that. Santa Claus, his elves, his reindeer, they said, nah, zombies, not going to stop us. We're going to do what we want to do here. So I'm pretty happy with how this deck turned out. I worked really hard to try and make a theme deck for the holidays that worked and that can win games. I don't think it's going to be winning any tier games necessarily, although maybe you could. Maybe you can twist it a bit and make it half decent, but it's pretty fun as is. If you want to give it a shot, I'd recommend it. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you enjoy my content in general, please subscribe, hit the notification bell. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, whatever you prefer, although I do suggest at least Twitter. That's where I post a lot of my updates, and if you want to be eligible to win in any of my future giveaways, you need to be following me on Twitter and subscribe to me on YouTube to be eligible at all. So please do that. I just gave away $4,000 worth of mythics and rares to 10 lucky winners. So check that out. I have a bunch of videos on my channel and a bunch of tweets that I sent out the past couple of weeks about it. So if you want to be a potential winner in a future giveaway, make sure you follow and subscribe. If you're interested in supporting me on Patreon, check out the link in the description. Big thank you to my current patrons. Check out the tiers. They're pretty cool. I've essentially guaranteed that all my patrons win a giveaway every year. So I think that's also pretty cool. Thanks, and have a good one.